I be. I was just talking to my TikTok peeps, to my yappers on TikTok. But welcome, my yappers on YouTube, my yapper family on YouTube. Hope everybody is doing well and lovely on this beautiful Sunday night. I had to postpone 30 extra minutes because I was out hooping. For the ones that's been following me for a minute, y'all know it's cardio. Wednesday nights, Sunday nights, cardio. So I got back to the crib around 9:45, 9:55 ish. And yeah, so 10 o'clock was a little hard because I definitely got to prepare myself and make sure I have content to bring to the table. That way we can figure out what's going on and look at stuff together. But definitely welcome in. I appreciate my TikTok family joining over here, the YouTube family joining over here, the Yapper family in general. My name itself, because I seen my real name is Jeremiah. Everybody that knows me calls me Jay. Um, my entire life, but Jeremiah is my government name. For anybody, for the 21 people that gets to hear that, now you know, and I guess anybody that looks back. But everybody calls me Jay. Been Jay my entire life. Um, Due to hooping in basketball, nobody calls my government name on the court and stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, we got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about tonight. We got some things going on with this fabricated, in my opinion, fabricated confession with the Tyler Robinson confession. They released some court documents that showed, I wouldn't necessarily say a timeline. I wish that it had time stamps because it was kind of suspicious to me that they didn't provide time stamps to these text messages, to these alleged text messages. But we do have the content as far as what was said in these messages. So we'll go through that tonight and we'll be able to go through and see, what y'all think and if y'all feel like he actually said that and all of those good things. So again, I don't believe he said any of these things, but we'll see. We have some people out there that says y'all need to open y'all eyes. It's an open and shut case. Leave it alone. He confessed. So, we'll have to go back and forth about that. For the ones that need a full catch up on the Charlie Kirk investigation, and I'm talking about from beginning to end, this might be your lucky night because I do want to briefly go over the timeline of the Charlie Kirk investigation to catch people up, and it won't take long because there's a beautiful website that was created called the Who Killed. I'll pull it up, but it's called Who Killed CK, Who Killed Charlie Kirk. Um, and that website literally breaks down the timelines, I think dating back all the way to 2023, and it filters out the official narrative or the original narrative, and it throws in there conspiracies or conflict of interest, and the timeline is beautiful, and we're going to go through that tonight leading up to talking about the confession that was just released. And now the Salami soldiers have hit the internet and they're like, look, the mountain of evidence is, dang, did I get scratched tonight? I did get scratched tonight. I'm just not peeping at. The mountain of evidence is getting bigger and bigger with Tyler Robinson confessing to everybody. So we'll be able to see about that. I found it very interesting that somebody would tell a million people that they committed a crime, but then when they get into custody, now they get a little shy. That's very strange to me. Very strange. But we will get into it. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit the sub button. Everybody hit the like button, but if you're new to the channel, please hit the sub button. We are on the road to 20,000 subs, and we almost there. I think we get like 19.9. So I don't even know if that's 900 or if that's 970. I don't know, but I see it's 19.9. So if you haven't subbed yet, please sub to the channel. I appreciate all the support as we go on this road to 20K, and I definitely appreciate all the support along the way. Now, jumping straight into this timeline for the ones that just need a quick refresher, or you might find some things in this timeline that you never knew. But I want to jump straight into this Charlie Kirk investigation timeline and kind of go through start from the beginning, and we're going to kind of breeze through it a little bit, a refresher for everybody leading up to now the release documents of the Tyler Robinson confession, which is obviously the title of the show, title of the video. And I appreciate somebody throwing in there to start adding, episode 1, episode 2, so we can start referencing, different shows. That way, if we have to go back, we can just say go back and watch episode 2. I'll start doing that. So I do appreciate the constructive criticism to the channel, because we have definitely grew this channel as a team, grew the platforms in general has grown, like, thanks to everybody, because everybody just needs a space to talk about something like this. I think that was kind of the moral of the story for everybody. Everybody's like, man, I don't have any family to talk to about what's going on. And, we're able to come together and just chop it up. And you might be somewhere off in the corner listening to this live because you don't want to play it out loud because the whole house think you crazy. It's cool. Been there, done that. I'm one of those people too. I can't talk about this with nobody. They don't really, my friends don't care. My wife don't care. So here I am talking to my family about maybe not this. Let's not use family, because Shalami used family. I don't like the way she do that. But I'm talking to my great peoples that we think alike, and we just need a little outlet. So let's jump straight into this timeline for the ones that just need a quick refresher. And I think it's very interesting to also review, because there's some things in here that you probably didn't know. Let me put it up a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. Hear from Candace Owens shouting you out. Wait, what? What you mean? When she do that? I hope it ain't nothing new. Well, not that I hope it's not, but is it anything new? She did it before, but if you're saying she did it again, I definitely got to go look. All right. Let's jump to 2023. It says Lance Twiggs was searched in DC in 2023, nearly 2 to 3 years before the assassination. Now, I cannot help but to think, okay, cool. Yeah, she did it before. She shouted me out before, not on the live, but like she commented on my videos, and then she reposted a video. She showed love before a couple of different times. So I definitely appreciate Candace. I've been following her for a long time. She is somebody that I definitely am on the same wavelength with. The way I think is what she says all out. So I love it. Now, January 1st, 2023, Lance Twiggs was searched in DC. Very odd. I don't know about y'all, but I've never been searched in another country, another state, So I just find it very strange that you're going to see a couple of these different people are searched already in different countries years ago. Very weird. But a lot more things are going to happen in this timeline that is going to raise some eyebrows for the ones that maybe haven't seen this timeline before. Kirk questions Israeli government on October 7th. We looked at some of these different videos on the last show, how Charlie Kirk, at one point in time, he kind of was just trying to make his donors happy. And he was just defending the blue and white country and not really listening to the people that he was debating against. And he was 100% wrong, 100% wrong. He didn't believe them. He was calling them anti-Semitic. And we went through that in the last video for the ones that didn't watch it. But the pre-Charlie, like before Charlie actually woke up to what was going on, realizing that he was controlled, he defended Israel to the very end. For a long time, not to the very end. I'm sorry, excuse me. He defended Israel for a long time. And then he started finally questioning October 7th. And then things took a turn. And we're about to see it in this timeline. So we're going to skip through a couple of different more. We got Charlie Kirk sends a private message to Candace saying Catholicism sounds good or better and better in February 2024. Let's see. We got the Losi Center, which is the building the alleged shooter was on the roof, Tyler Robinson. Lalosi Center was searched in 2025, April 2025. So we coming up on September, very quick. Tyler Robinson's defense attorney was searched in Israel. The Mauser 98, I skipped that. I'm sorry. That's the alleged murder weapon that was used, or I guess it was actually used, but we don't know who used it. We don't even know if it went off. But that was the murder weapon they found. It was searched in DC in April. Paramount Tactical. Let's get to some more weird stuff though. Some more weird things that definitely was it just didn't sit right with me because I was like, how? Let's see. Egyptian planes retire in Utah. Tyler Robinson's defense attorney Kirk warns Trump. Okay, June 2025. As you can see right here to the side, my mouse, it doesn't show it, but to the side you can see this green highlighted, this green highlighted words, shifting stance. This is when Charlie Kirk started to change his perspective and views on everything. He started to be very vocal about the Iran war. He was in the White House. Joe Kent already confirmed that Charlie Kirk was one of the most vocal, and he was the closest advisor to Trump. And he was very vocal about not going into war with Iran and telling everybody in the White House that we need to rethink our relationship with the blue and white country. This is June 2025. And Joe Kent already said that he made a lot of people upset in the White House. Obviously, we know why now because of who's kind of controlling this Iran war. Tyler Robinson's roommate, Lance Twiggs, who received alleged confession texts from Robinson's search from Israel. Okay, I think it's just saying Lance Twiggs. That was kind of worded weird. I was like, what? Let's keep skipping a little bit. Michael McCoy, June. All right, Timpanogos Hospital, where Charlie Kirk was taken after the shooting, was searched in D.C., June 2028. Again, maybe coincidence, maybe, but I just don't know. I don't know too many people who even knew that was a hospital. I don't know too many people who even knew that was the hospital's name. And you're talking about somebody in D.C. was pulling up Timpanogos Hospital. That's very weird to me. I didn't even know what that was until all of this stuff went down. The medical examiner was searched in Israel in June on June 30th. Robinson's roommate Lance Twiggs searched from D.C. approximately a month and a half before assassination. So now we have Lance Twiggs again. Let me pull this over here so I'm not looking too far away from the camera. Okay, that works. We have Lance Twiggs searched again in D.C. in July. Again, who is searching Lance Twiggs and why? And, you know, my theory, my opinion, I think Lance Twiggs is more involved than Tyler Robinson. It makes more sense. The person, the police scanners and the 911 calls that we heard on Barron's podcast, you know, the people that they said they were looking for at first, the suspect was somebody with long hair. That's nowhere near Tyler Robinson. Like the person that they described was Lance Twiggs. And it was very odd to me knowing that Lance Twiggs, you know, once he cooperated, I guess, when he was in, you know, being interrogated, he went off the grid. He was in protective custody and all. I'm like, why is he not a suspect? If he's burning up the confession note and he's, you know, talking to Tyler Robinson here and there, I don't know. He went into protective custody and all types of weird stuff. But Lance Twiggs is getting searched a lot leading up to the death of Charlie Kirk. That is July 1st. July 2nd, the Lalosi Center is searched again. Timpanogos Regional Hospital is searched again in D.C. For the people that, I seen somebody comment the other day that it's pretty bold of me to assume or kind of put out there that Trump is involved. And I think we need to start having those tough conversations. Like, I'm somebody that doesn't really shy away from that. I think Trump, I'm not going to say he was the person that ordered this huge thing that went down with Charlie Kirk. I hope it's not. I hope he wasn't the mastermind of it behind it all. However, I think that he is part of the cover up. And I don't really think anybody can prove me wrong, because we have so many things that raise a lot of red flags and questions, and Trump isn't interested at all. Nor is TPUSA, nor is Cash Patel. So therefore, I think Trump is involved in the cover up. I think there's a lot of things that raise red flags and say, hey, we should probably, relaunch another investigation about what's going on. No, obviously Trump got bigger things to worry about right now. However, this has been something that's been going on before the Iran war, and he's never cared about his quote unquote great friend, Charlie Kirk. He's never cared. Never. When Joe Kent came out and said what he said about being blocked by the FBI, obviously Trump knew that he was blocked by the FBI. He knew this already. This wouldn't come to a surprise to Trump. However, it should have came as a surprise to Turning Point USA and to Miss Shalami. She should have been the first person to get right out front and say, y'all, wait, hold on. Joe Kent said what? He was blocked by the FBI? That, you know what? Relaunch an entire investigation. I demand an entire investigation on what happened to my husband. Because why is Joe Kent saying what he just said? This is completely unacceptable. I'm demanding some answers. Trump get involved. That's what you think somebody that loved their husband would do. I would consider that normal behavior. Let's please don't gaslight me. I would consider that very normal behavior for a wife to be so pissed off that Joe Kent came out and said that she would be trying to rip everybody's heads off. But what did she do? Stay silent. Stay silent. And her silence is loud. I know exactly why you're silent. I know exactly why Trump's silent. But let's continue. I don't want to get off topic too much before I get going. So we have the Losi Center searched from Israel. Now, July 7th, the Losi Center is searched in Israel. Now we have July 11th, TPUSA Summit. Charlie Kirk tells Tucker Carlson to go max regarding Israel before Tucker goes on stage. This is him shifting his stance again. Tucker Carlson speaks at a TPUSA event, branding the Jeffrey as an Israeli intelligence asset. Now, what's very important about that part right there is Megyn Kelly actually put out a video that I guess I don't mind referencing. That way y'all can hear it for yourself. If I can find it really quick, because I definitely don't want to waste too much time trying to look for it. But she referenced, she said something in her video that was very interesting to me. And I want to play it really quick. And it involves that TPUSA Summit conference. And then we'll get back to this timeline. Let's see. All right. I might skip around a little bit to get there. But she said something very interesting about that specific conference. And I want to see if I can catch it really quick so y'all can hear it.
Casters in the independent lane, Anna, as opposed to where, like, the Democrats, their evolution happening.
Right. And Mossad.
Okay, but here we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the OJ memo,
right?
Saying administration, and he didn't want to be seen in a position of like really attacking any of their top emissaries, and I can't do it because he's close to like moment on tape. Obviously now let's do Bondi, and he charged about. I went out on stage with him.
Intelligence organizations, right? And Mossad.
Okay, but here we have to talk about this.
Yeah.
We have to talk about this because that's the discussion I had with Charlie at the Turning Point event last July that kicked it all off. I went out on stage with him and Charlie wanted to make the whole thing about Pam Bondi, who had just stepped on a rake with that ridiculous DOJ memo,
Right.
saying we're not going to be releasing anything more about Epstein. And Charlie said to me backstage, he was like, let's do Bondi. And he was like, go for it. Like he said to Tucker, infamously now, go Max, famously, which we know because I have that moment on tape and I released it. But he said to me too, like, go for it on Bondi. And he basically told me he can't do it because he's close with the administration.
Right. So y'all heard that? He can't do it because he's close with the administration. I actually should have let it play a little bit more.
On Bondi. And he basically told me he can't do it because he's close with the administration. And he didn't want to be seen in a position of like really attacking any of their top emissaries. And I was happy to do it because I'd been doing it on my show all week. It's not like I just did it for Charlie.
Very important information right here. In July of 2025, Charlie Kirk doesn't want to speak on tough conversations because he doesn't want to seem like he's criticizing the administration. That's not the Charlie Kirk that founded Turning Point USA. That's not the Charlie Kirk that we know. That's a controlled Charlie Kirk. And at this event, he's telling Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson to go max on conversations because he can't personally speak on it. And at this event, when Megyn Kelly, I don't know what she said, but Tucker Carlson goes in on, the Jeffrey and many other things, questioning the blue and white country. That is when the infamous text message that came out of that one lady, forget what her name is. Somebody may be able to remind me, that texted Charlie that long message because of how pissed she was at Tucker Carlson's speech at this event. And she told Charlie Kirk this long thing about God is going to take his hand off of you if you don't condemn Tucker Carlson. How dare you allow Tucker Carlson to go up there and say what he said? This is when everything started to change. They wanted him to condemn Tucker Carlson, never bring Tucker Carlson back on Turning Point USA's platform ever again. And everybody started questioning Charlie a little bit. This is when donors started to pull money from Charlie, right? In the last couple months, they started pulling money from Charlie. This is July of 2025. So, but it was very important. When Megyn Kelly said that, I immediately thought in my mind, Charlie didn't want to seem like he was criticizing the administration. That's not the Charlie Kirk that he thought he was. Charlie Kirk thought he was free. He thought he was free. He thought he was like Tucker, Megyn, and Candace. He thought he was. But he wasn't. He had no idea he was being controlled until it was too late. And I think in this situation, it's unfortunate because Charlie probably really wanted to get close in the White House. He wanted to get close to the administration. He was probably going to be the next president one day. But ultimately, that cost him his freedom because he couldn't speak on certain topics. Now, back to the timeline. I just wanted to play that so y'all can get a picture in your mind that in July, Charlie was already being controlled. He was already telling Megyn and telling Tucker Carlson, y'all can speak on these things. I can't right now. I'm in a weird position. And it's obviously he changed his mind towards the end when it was too late. But it makes you wonder. It makes you think about how money really did change a lot for Charlie. It makes you wonder how many things he actually wasn't cool with, but he just pretended like he was cool with it just to save face, to save the administration. Tyler Boyer talks about that all the time. Andrew Kovac, Mikey McCoy talks about it all the time. Oh, Charlie, he would have never criticized Trump on this Iran war. He would have been upset in private, but he would never have criticized Trump on this Iran war. And in his final days, I disagree because he already was turning from holding his tongue anymore. So the Charlie Kirk that was trying to gain himself back, trying to release himself from the shackles, I think he would have spoke out because he was already speaking out about the Iran war in the White House for Joe Kent to know about it. However, I think there was a period of time, I don't know how many years, but there was a period of time where Charlie Kirk could not say much and he could not criticize this administration. But that would be a MAGA shield, a Republican shield, where he's pretending to be this neutral person, but in reality, he's just pushing the propaganda just like all these other lying politicians. So it's a very sticky situation it was a very sticky situation for Charlie. Now back to the timeline. Okay, there we go. Back to this timeline. That was July of 2025. Let me make sure. Okay, y'all can see it. That was July of 2025 at the TPUSA summit. Tucker Carlson spoke and all hell broke loose. Now we can see everything starting to pile on. Charlie Kirk in July 2025, he's bombarded with infuriated messages from Zionist donors. This is when we played, I think it's coming up with Megyn Kelly. It might be on here, but we talked about it a little bit where in the last show where he was on Megyn Kelly's podcast in August. So that's actually coming up. And he was very frustrated with how many different Zionist donors and pro-Israel friends were calling him outside of his name and all types of stuff. He's very frustrated. So July 2025, he's bombarded with infuriated messages. Let's see. Let's skip a little bit. July 18th, 2025. UVU chapter of Turning Point USA requests to have Charlie Kirk speak at a late notice. So they said they usually book these things months and months out, but in July, they request to have Charlie in 2 months. Some more Timpanogos hospital surgeons Googled from Israel. Very weird things. And if you go to this website, everything's verified. Once you click on each line item, when you click inside of it, which I might do it for a couple of these, it'll provide sources and everything. This is a beautiful website if you ever want to get a little refresher on the Charlie Kirk investigation. Let's skip a little bit more. UVU crime scene trespasser searched from Israel. The Losi Center is searched from Israel for the 4th time. Rode Wireless Go searched from Israel. I don't really understand how these things are right in front of us, available to the public, and you still have people, including his wife, that are pushing the lone wolf, Tyler Robinson. His Rode microphone was on Google Trends 2 months before his assassination. The Google microphone? Like, what are we talking about? I said the Google microphone, the Rode microphone. It was searched in Izzy. July 28th, searched in Izzy. Charlie Kirk, August 2025. Now we are a month away. Charlie Kirk 2025. Bibi was trying to cow him into silence as he began to publicly question Izzy's overwhelming influence. August 2025. Kash Patel fires and guts the entire Utah FBI leadership. This was labeled a red flag on this website. And again, when you go to these things, it'll tell you exactly why it's a red flag. Beautiful website. I love it. I use this I'm sorry. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. I use this website often, like almost every day, just to keep track, make sure I'm accurate with what I speak on, and make sure my little timeline I have is accurate, and all of that good stuff. Look at this one. August 2nd, a month before, Schaefer Security Group previously reported as Charlie Kirk's event security, and Hunter Kozak searched from Israel. I should have said Izzy. I'm sorry. August 2nd, 2025. Hunter Kozak. It's not too many times somebody's gonna search my full government name in Israel. That's not gonna happen too many times. Hunter Kozak and Charlie Kirk's security team is searched in Israel. I am almost on track of not saying that word. I'm getting used to it. I messed up, slipped up 3-4 times now. I'm getting there. August 4th, the Hamptons meeting. We know about this. This is when BB calls. So again, this was a heated conversation. It's public information. There was a lot of pro-Israel Zionist donors, a lot of people there. And it was a heated conversation. We all know this. This happened in August 2025. Charlie Kirk rejects BB's funding offer to take Turning Point to the next level. This was also confirmed. Pretty much everything on his website is confirmed. Charlie Kirk outraged in an interview with Megyn Kelly. That's what we was just talking about on what we went through the other night on the show. When he was very frustrated with Megyn Kelly on how they were calling him names. So again, frustration with the Zionist donors, the pro-Israel squad, all of the Shalamis. He's very frustrated with them. Now, ask yourself again. You're Charlie's wife. You see your husband extremely frustrated like this. Seeing him in this way, day in and day out. And then he ends up going out in the way he did, which we're getting to. And you don't, all hell don't break loose as the wife, knowing that your husband was stressed out and pissed off every day. And you know who, and you know why. And not once did she come out pissed. Not once did she come out and let everybody know that he was frustrated and going through something. Candace was the one to tell us. And then when Candace told us, all of the people that had him stressed out came out and said, Candace is crazy. She don't know what she's talking about. That never happened. And then Miss Shalami didn't even come out and say, no. Candace is right. Don't do that. I might not like Candace right now, but Candace is right. She don't come out and do that. Instead, she allows Candace to be dragged through the mud, called crazy. And then Candace is forced to drop screenshots to prove that he was going through something. And y'all sit here and want me to think that Miss Shalami ain't got nothing to do with this. This is just context here. This is context. Yes, on Glenn Beck as well, right? Charlie never said that. He was not frustrated in his final days. I have his phone. He didn't send out any messages like that. Candace drops the receipts. And she's like, oh, you know what? You're right. I just didn't see him. It was in Telegram and WhatsApp. And then Candace is like, no, it was in iMessage. Oh, she goes radio silent. We don't hear from her anymore. It's bad. And people wonder why, like, I get very annoyed when I look at this lady. That's because what Miss Shalami is doing is not normal. I don't expect anybody in here right now to act the way she is about their loved one if something happened to them. Nobody. And we're looking at this timeline and we're watching built up frustration and Charlie going through something for months before he dies. And his wife never comes out and admits. Instead, she takes the Zionist money even more for her company, for Charlie's company. Well, I guess it ain't even Charlie's company. He founded the idea of the company, but it's a charity, so he doesn't own it. Let's get back to the timeline. August 12th, Mikey McCoy searched. Let's see. This is very important. Harrison Smith posted about Kirk fearing Israel would kill him. Now, for the ones that did not see this tweet, beautiful website. Look at this website. Just brings up all the sources that you need. Harrison puts out this tweet on August 13th and says, I'm not going to name names, but I was told by someone close to Charlie Kirk that Charlie thinks Izzy will kill him if he turns against them. Now, you tell me, how is that not important? How do you see that and still think Tyler Robinson's the lone wolf? A month before, a little under a month, some guy comes out and says, somebody close to Charlie says this. How is this not important to Charlie Kirk's family? And I'm talking about Turning Point USA and Erica Kirk. I don't know what's going on with his mom, his mom, his dad, his sister. I don't know why they're silent. Because even with this information, you know, I don't know if they're terrified of things that might happen. I'm not sure. I just know that me personally, I'd be, nah, it's up. I'm setting the whole thing on fire until I figure out what happened to my brother. But Harrison Smith says that on August 13th. And then we do know now that Harrison Smith sent this information to, you know, the authorities. And I don't think anything came out of it. Obviously not surprised. But Harrison Smith did say he sent this over to the government. But August 13th, Harrison Smith said that. Some more Egyptian planes. Tyler James Robinson. Full name searched from Israel. August 18th. Searched from Izzy. I'm sorry. Doesn't happen to me at all. I'm a normal guy. I don't get searched from Izzy at all. Especially not my full name, first, middle, and last name. Crazy. Let's see. Security starts planning for the UVU event August 24th. A little late. Let's keep it going. These are some interesting things that are going to play out into our favor eventually. But the contract delivered for from Accurate Energetic Systems. This is about the exploding mic theory. Things start to happen. You know, the exploding the factory blew up 30 days later after Charlie Kirk was eliminated. Very interesting, and I'm on board with the exploding mic theory. So very important things. Let's keep it going though. August 27th, 2025. Charlie Kirk rejects BB's invitation to Israel. Now, I mean, just reading that alone is very interesting. Rejecting somebody in power can come with a lot of consequences. This is BB's second time that we know of where he's trying to directly get in contact with Mr. Kirk. He offered to take Turning Point to the next level. He called him when he was at the Hamptons and asked that question. And then, of course, you have Miss Shalami herself saying that never happened. BB calling and offering all of that money, that never happened. Candace says that Andrew Covet confirmed that happened. And Miss Shalami says he did call, but I don't know what was said. I can't confirm if he said those words. And I'm just sitting here thinking, as a normal human being, Why else would BB be calling Charlie? To say good evening? To say hello? What is it to talk about? So again, these are like these little lies, these little white lies. He did call, but I don't know what he said. You do know what he said because he definitely didn't call to say good morning. It's nothing to talk about except you know why I'm calling because you know who I am and you know what I'm about to offer you. You know why I'm here. But the fact that Miss Shalami couldn't even confirm that, she's been trying to cover her track so much. And this is the problem I have. Excuse me for tangent, and y'all know I get the yapping. But this is the problem I have with Megyn Kelly. Just really quick. Not anything very serious, but I just think about her often because she is somebody that toes the line. She is somebody that doesn't want to take a side because she's afraid of losing listeners, watchers. She's afraid to take a side. But a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. So like I don't really, when it comes down to the situation with somebody being completely eliminated from this earth, I think that this is an extreme battle of spiritual warfare. And for me personally, you need to pick a side. You need to pick a side. You have to. Because Charlie's not here anymore to defend himself, laugh with, tell jokes with. No, he's not here anymore. So you need to pick a side. So when Megyn goes on her platform, and she's cool people. You know what I mean? I don't really know these people, so I feel like I definitely I don't have to hold my tongue. She's reposted and talked about some of my videos a couple of times, but I'm just being completely honest. When Megyn goes on her stage, on her platform, and she says, I'm not going to condemn Candace because Candace is asking the right questions. Because Megyn has firsthand, let me bring this down really quick. Megyn has firsthand experience with Charlie Kirk going through something. She knows what Charlie Kirk was going through. She was on the interview with Charlie a month before and Charlie was expressing his frustration. She knows personally what Charlie was going through. So she can't say Candace has a right to ask questions because Izzy does a lot of suspicious things. So if Candace wants to ask questions about Izzy, she can do that. But I do think Tyler Robinson did it. And I think he's the lone gunman. And I'm like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. To me, that's somebody that's afraid to pick a side because you don't want to lose that audience. Because you can't say, I think Tyler Robinson is the lone gunman. I think he's the lone wolf. But yet, Candace has great questions she's asking because it doesn't make any sense that what the feds are telling us. What are you talking about then? How do you come to the conclusion of Tyler Robinson is the lone gunman? If you just said out your same mouth, you fixed your lips and said that the feds aren't making any sense, but somehow you think Tyler Robinson did it. And then she says, Candace can continue to ask questions because Charlie was very frustrated with Israel, but she can't ask Erica anything. Huh? Lady, Erica is still laying in bed with Izzy. So if you was this cool with Charlie, then why aren't you seeing what I'm seeing? If you know Charlie was extremely frustrated with Izzy, this is something that pissed him off leading up to his death, literally. And now his wife is laid up in bed with Izzy, still taking their money, flying out and talking to these people every single day, having these pro-Izzy people on his platform, on Charlie Kirk's platform. Then how are you, as a best friend to Charlie, as a friend to Charlie, gonna say Candace can't ask Miss Shalami anything? I don't like that. I disagree with Candace asking questions about Erica. Why? That makes no sense, Megyn. It doesn't. And that's my problem I have with Megyn. She's cool. But when it comes to this conversation, I need you to pick a side. I need you to explain yourself and just make it clear on where you stand. She doesn't make it clear. You can't say you think it's Tyler Robinson. You think he did it. Then you say you can't say, but Candace has great questions because the FBI doesn't make any sense. Well, how did you get to Tyler Robinson? You can't say you can't ask Erica any questions because Erica is literally joining at the hip with Izzy. So I don't know. I don't like people that are just afraid to stand on business. And I think that's what Megan is doing right now. She don't want to. When I think ultimately, again, if you're a friend to everyone, you're a friend to no one. So I think in the end, she's still losing listeners and watchers because I feel like there has to be more people out there that are like similar to me. And I'm sure there's probably people on Miss Shalami's side. And they're like, Megan, how are you agreeing with what Candace is doing? And they probably don't like her for that. So I don't know. But that's my issue with Megan. Let's get through a little bit more. I know it's a very intense situation. Tucker Carlson is somewhat the same because he's like, I'm great friends with Erica Kirk. And but Candace Owens is right. A lot of it doesn't make any sense. And Tucker Carlson, it's a tough conversation because Tucker Carlson is definitely on his way to something big. He is in his prime right now. Again, that's a conversation that a lot of people don't want to hit on because it's a very intense conversation. But for me, again, as a man, that if I'm claiming I was really good friends with Charlie, it depends on who you met first. But my loyalty is with Charlie Kirk. If I'm Tucker Carlson or Megyn Kelly, anybody that was friends with Charlie first before Erica came in the picture, my loyalty is with him. I don't give a freak about who you is. I don't care about if you was his wife. I don't care about any of that. My loyalty is with him. So if you look weird and you look shady and my friend is no longer here, I'm on your head. I don't care about that respect thing. And my friend, my best friend ain't here no more. And you look really weird. And let me find out you had something to do with it. I promise you I'm gonna crash out. I don't care if you his widow or not, because he ain't here no more. That was my brother. And that's kind of like my thing. Maybe that's why I'm not like into politics and I'm not like super professional. Because I wouldn't be able to make it. I wouldn't be able to make it. I'd be canceled in a week. Because I'd get up there immediately and I'd be like, Tucker Carlson, was you friends with Charlie or was you friends with Erica first? He'd probably be like, Charlie. Okay, cool. So why are you so hell bent over Erica right now? Like if Erica don't seem weird to you? Oh, I think she does. She does, blah, blah. You don't think it's odd that Charlie denied the money from Izzy, but Erica's taking the money from Izzy? That doesn't make you feel any like, no? What about her lying about where she was? And she used a picture of two random kids and they weren't even her kids. That don't make you like, that don't make you wonder? Like somebody asked her where you was 2 days before Charlie died and she can't answer the question and instead she lied? Are you sure you a friend? Like you sure you was Charlie's friend? You think Charlie would want his wife to be lying about? Oh, okay. Let me stay out of the way then. Let me stay out of the way. But I'm sorry, I've been tangenting so much. I'm in a yapping mood tonight. I'm sorry. Y'all know me. I'm not the most professional, host. But I'm a yap and get my thoughts off regardless. For sure. Very authentic. I promise you that. I'm gonna say what's on my mind. Now, we're almost at some of the important things in this timeline. And then we'll get to some of this craziness with these text messages. let's see, Orem, Utah, where we at? August. Okay. Yeah, here we go. Yep, BB rejects Charlie Kirk rejects BB again. August 27th is what we just talked about. And then all right, look, now we're in September. Charlie Kirk requests Doge-style financial audit and removes Tyler Boyer as COO. September 2nd. Utah Valley University, search from DC, September 2nd. Allegedly, you can see right here highlighted the official narrative. This is what they want us to believe. Again, check out this website. Tyler Robinson begins planning the shooting, allegedly. Let's see what the red flag is. No evidence of text. You can see it down here. No evidence of text or Discord messages released by FBI. The FBI has not released any images of text messages or Discord messages between Tyler Robinson and his roommate. Pretty much confirming, they're only going off of the indictment. You can see it right here. They're just going off the indictment. The roommate said, how long have you been planning this? Robinson, a bit over a week. So, again, that is all alleged because I believe the feds created all of those conversations between Tyler and Luna. We'll get to who Luna is. Unusual vehicle traffic observed at Robinson Twigs. This is from a witness account. So a witness in the neighborhood. I believe I remember hearing about that on Candace's episode, that Tyler Robinson's neighbors said that they had a lot of vehicle traffic going in and out. Let's keep it going. Michael McCoy's full home address searched in Izzy. Very weird. Doesn't happen to me. All right. September 8th, Shillman withdraws $2 million in funding for Turning Point USA. And that is for Tucker Carlson, from what he did in the forgot what that event was called. Y'all remember. Let's see. Yep, here we go. Mitch Snow allegedly saw Erica Kirk in the hotel lobby at Fort Huachuca. We know that. September 8th. September 9th, Charlie participates in a Zoom call with Josh Hammer and other Zionist operatives. Charlie Kirk doused the media presentation of Izzy in an interview with Ben Shapiro. This is September 9th. Tyler Robinson, Tyler's full name, again, searched in D.C. and in Alabama the day before the assassination. September 9th, Charlie Kirk tells TPUSA, leaving me no choice but to lead a pro-Israel cause. September 9th. September 9th, multiple sources confirmed Charlie Kirk expressed his fear of being killed. Now, this is when it gets very, very, very interesting. Very interesting. We have the day of the assassination. You can see it right here. Day of assassination. TBUSA implements a new AV setup behind Charlie Kirk. This is with Tara Farnsworth. They said that they were trying a lot of things new. I believe Tara Farnsworth also doesn't even go to the pick up the mic type events, but for some reason he was there that day trying something out. They were live streaming, which we still don't know to this day. What were they live streaming to? Where did that feed go to? We don't know. It wasn't YouTube. They have never live streamed those events before. It's always just been pre-recorded and posted on YouTube to watch later. But for some reason, this was being live streamed and we don't know where it went to. I have my suspicions that whoever wanted to see Charlie Kirk go was watching it. I think if they weren't watching it and somebody can prove otherwise, I feel like we should be able to see where that feed went to. I feel like they should be able to easily come out and say, yes, we were live streaming it and it went here. Look at it. Here you go. We don't know where it went, and nobody will come out and tell us about where it went. But for some reason, it was being live streamed. We all know Frank Turek also had his phone up recording something. Interesting things. More Egyptian planes. Charlie Kirk arrives or he travels on a plane. Yeah, okay. Tyler Robinson arrives at campus, at UVU campus, in a gray Dodge Challenger. Let's see what the red flag is. Suspect walking near campus 22 minutes before allegedly arriving by car. Family states Tyler has never been to UVU campus. This is, I believe, from Candace. Yep. Candace has a close source, and Tyler Robinson's family said he never even went to that campus. So very interesting things. And we all know that Baron Coleman is doing his, I think somebody else has been doing it too. So I don't want to just say Baron's the only person, but he's doing that study of the shadow because the alleged TMZ pictures that I believe I can actually pull up on his website, the shadows don't look like it's a morning shadow. But I believe we'll get there. This plane flies from Scottsdale to Provo, likely Erica's flight. Now, this is a theory. It's not confirmed. I honestly still am kind of on board with this theory. I do think that Erica, I do personally think that Erica was in Provo. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I even talked to a couple of TPUSA people, and they were like, she was supposed to be there. They've heard about flight plans of her having things scheduled and booked, of her being there, supposed to be there. I think it's been a couple months, but I talked to one person and was like, I think when they first got the news about everything, for some reason, somebody that is very close to her thought she was there. So then when they found out she wasn't there, everybody was kind of confused. So I'm still kind of like 40-60, like 40%. I still believe that she was in Provo. I think she was there. It's going to be hard to prove. Definitely not going to be worked by me. I don't have the secret investigators and stuff like that. I do what I can. But I do think that I think she was there. I think Candace will get to it. I think Baron will get to it. Daisy. I think all of those people will get to it. It'll be revealed for sure. I was just thinking it just makes sense of her being there. Transponder work, all this good stuff. All right. Tyler Robinson enters. Footage shows suspect walking with a limp near campus, dressed in black jeans. That's the TMZ doorbell camera. I think it was some of those. I don't even want to get into that too much because I want to get to these text messages before we get too late. But I'm glad I get to catch up on this for the people that haven't been able to kind of get a rundown of this timeline. Tyler Robinson, 11:53, going up the stairs, whatever. Tyler Robinson crossed railing from public and walkway. All right, boom. 12:23, Charlie Kirk is assassinated. And we have different theories right here with the exploding mic, as you can see on the side. Mikey McCoy, with less than 1 second, turns and walks away. The strangest thing ever. I'm telling y'all, I seen a feed. I seen something on X. I might be able to find it really quick. I seen something on X of the video of Charlie Kirk when everything first went down. And you can see it in the back with Mikey McCoy, him walking off. And it just made me wonder. I just don't think anybody that is a normal human being would just walk away, and the way Mikey McCoy walked away. Everybody is running for their life, ducking, running, all types of stuff. Michael McCoy, no. Michael McCoy walks away, phone to his ear, just walks away, so calm. I'm like, I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that. I'm trying to see if I can find it really quick. If I can't find it, it's all good. We'll talk about it another day. But I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying somebody never going through a shooting in their life. You know, it's not like it's somebody that's like, oh man, I deal with shootings every single day. So, you know, I wasn't too worried about it. It happens, B. You know what I mean? Like something crazy. Mikey McCoy, this, I'm assuming, well brought up, great family, probably stayed in a nice area, never dealt with shooting in his life, probably, I would assume. And you're telling me this man sees Charlie Kirk gets popped in the neck. Here you go, right here. And he just walks off like nothing happened. So calm. Like, yeah, it's happened before. Let me show this really quick. It's kind of hard to see where Mikey is, but he's like right here. I want to just jump. I don't want to show that part because this does show that. I just want to show Mikey McCoy walking away for everybody. Oh. Okay. Try my best not to show that part. Okay. All right. So you see Charlie's right there and it's about to happen. It happened. Now, watch over here. Mikey McCoy he's already walked away, right? Look at everybody's reaction. These are normal human reactions right here. And if anybody tries to gaslight you into thinking it's not, don't let them. This is what normal humans do when they hear the sounds of gunshots, right? They duck, they run, you know, because they just don't know what's going on. They don't know if it's another one that's on the way. They don't know. So they duck or they run. If you're in a situation where your friend is the person that you watched get shot, you duck, you run, or you run towards them to help. But doing what Mikey McCoy does that you're about to see is not an option. Look at him. Look at him. Look at everybody, even Frank Turek hitting the flow. Look at everybody panicking. And oh, here's Mikey McCoy. Raised in the hood, used to gunshots. Just walking away, so calm on the phone. And remember, according to Miss Shalami, because they brought Mikey McCoy's phone records, which I don't believe. I think they was fabricated. His wife was the first person he called. Now, he ain't called nobody. He's already on the phone. He was already on the phone. But this is Mikey McCoy right here. His alleged best friend, his boss, is down on the ground. And oh, the amazing Mikey McCoy is back here walking away so calm. I want to see if I can slow this down anymore. Yeah, I can. Oh, I did not mean to. Oh, my Lord. I didn't mean to do that. Don't ban me, YouTube. Don't ban me. Don't ban me. Don't ban me. All right. Look at Michael McCoy in the back. Look at that. Look at what everybody else is doing around him. Panicking. panicking. But no, Mikey McCoy, the amazing Mikey McCoy, just so calm. Just so calm. But you know, we'll say Mikey McCoy for another day. Conversation, more of a conversation about him another day. A suspect captured on camera 10 seconds after running across the roof holding a rifle. Terrell Farmswell films that selfie, that weird selfie saying, they shot Charlie. Oh, let me zoom in a little bit for y'all. They shot Charlie. Very weird. George Zinn walking down with his pants on the ground 50 seconds after the whatever happened to Charlie, the Big Bang. Now, let's look at this timeline. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Tyler Robinson hides the gun after the shooting. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So this is 12:26. Tyler Robinson changed outfits in the bush. Changes outfits in the bush. 12:27. Person seen running through the backyard after the shootings. This is 6 minutes. This is 12:29. Tyler Robinson, allegedly, Tyler Robinson is seen running through the bushes in the backyard. Now, it's going to jump down to sometime in the afternoon. Tyler Robinson sends his initial confession messages after the roommate about the note. Tyler Robinson texts about continued attempts to retrieve rifle. Yes, that's very interesting too. Now, before we even get to this, we did a show a couple of days ago, and apparently Barron has covered it as well. And I need to probably go back and look to see what he says about it. But there's a video that I did the other day of Tyler Robinson being at a plaza parking lot 5 minutes away from UVU waiting for somebody at 12:45. So how does this alleged Tyler Robinson on the roof get off the roof, change clothes, run through the parking lot, run through the grass, get in the car, drive 5 minutes away, and is in this plaza parking lot at 12:45? That doesn't really make sense to me. If that is him in the plaza parking lot. And it's so hard. It's so funny how people use the argument of, you don't have any facts. You don't have this. You don't have that. Of course I don't. The feds are against the facts. The feds are against actually solving this. The feds have fabricated everything. So of course I don't have the facts. Of course. The facts I have are lies. So this is what happened. This is what happens. Their theories. But Tyler Robinson sends the message, which is what we're about to get into. But what's also interesting to me that I cannot find for the life of me is that in court documents and police reports, they say right here, Tyler Robinson texts about continuing attempts to retrieve the rifle. Right? But there's no time stamp at all about that. And this is actually the one that I need to find the timestamp because it matters. Tyler Robinson returned to campus and encountered police officer while attempting to retrieve rifle. We don't have a timestamp for that, and that is very key to this investigation because in the court documents and on the police report, it says that hours later, Tyler Robinson returned to campus. And he had an encounter with the police. Now, this should be very easy to provide timestamp to provide a timestamp for. This should be very easy. The police say he saw Tyler Robinson and had an encounter with him. So why can't we get a timestamp for that? What is hours later? What does that mean? What does hours later mean? Hours later mean? But that is very important. Tyler Robinson, September 11th, this is the next day. Tyler Robinson destroyed, concealed, or removed clothing worn during the shooting. Law enforcement recovered the bolt action rifle. Was that the next day? They recovered it the next day? Interesting. Now we're gonna get into some of these text messages. Tyler Robinson turns himself in, you know, all of that good stuff. Okay, cool. So we kind of went through it all. And for the people that still need to go through and maybe look at every single detail, please do. It's a great website. It provides all the sources. So it's a one-stop shop. Whatever claim they have, you can click inside of the claim and it provides the sources. And then boom, boom, it's easy. Now, going into these text messages that was released with some court documents. Let's read off some of these things because we didn't have the full context of Tyler Robinson's conversation with what's the boy name? Lance Twigs. Sorry, I was reading some of the comments. We didn't have the full context of what was said with Lance Twigs and how everything was worded and stuff like that. So they gave us some more information on how these two talk to each other all day. And I wanted to go through some of this with y'all because I get y'all opinion on what y'all think as well, because this is just beyond me. There's no way. I'm not believing for one bit that a 22-year-old talks like this. I'm not believing for one bit that a 22-year-old who just committed allegedly the crime of the century would out himself so many times through text messages and then feel shy to tell the police that he did it when he turns himself in. I'm just not buying it. When we're going through these text messages, please pay attention to how many times he incriminates himself. Why? All you have to do is say it one time. If I just don't want to really understand the doubling, tripling, and quadrupling down that, hey, I did it. Doesn't really make sense to me. Somebody's probably gonna say, hey, Gen Z, they do some stupid things. Don't get me wrong. They do some stupid things. It might be crazy for me to say, but not this stupid, though. Not this stupid. They'll get on live and accidentally snitch on themselves because their ego so high and they bragging, but then they end up snitching on themselves for a crime they did. They might rap a song and then tell the whole entire crime that they committed inside of that song. But voluntarily texting multiple people about this crime, voluntarily, nobody's asking him to do this. And I'm bringing that up because it doesn't make sense for somebody to act this way and then be shy to tell the police that he did it. That's why I'm confused. All right. I'm seeing some people say you're confused on the timeline. If we got to go through it again on another episode, on another show, we definitely can. I just wanted to kind of build up a little, I guess, vague timeline for everybody, catch everybody up on everything. Maybe not everything, I'm sorry, but like somewhat important things that leads into the text messages of Tyler Robinson confessing. Now, let me pull this up right here because this is beyond me. I couldn't believe what I was reading. So we have Tyler Robinson on September 12th, allegedly, at 1 a.m. This is when Lance, I'm reading right here. This is when Lance is being interrogated at 1 a.m. But look at these text messages. The first message to Tyler. First message, Tyler says, I am still okay, my love, but I am stuck in Orem for a little while longer yet. What? Okay. Second message from Tyler. Shouldn't be long until I can come home, but I got to grab my rifle still. Why? Why can't he just say it's going to be a little bit long? I'll be home soon. This is the part where I'm saying Gen Z would never. I'll be a little while, love. I gotta go grab my rifle from the woods that I wrapped in a towel. Why would anybody get into the details of that? Look, I've already texted and saying I did it. I've already. So what are we talking about? I don't need to go into details. Then let's see. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this a secret. Oh, okay. Oh, this is the same message. To be honest, I had hoped to keep this a secret till I died of old age. I am sorry to involve you. Um, I'm confused. Keep what a secret? He hasn't been watching the TV. Nobody really knows that he did it. Why are you giving yourself up if you wanted to keep it a secret? I wanted to keep it a secret, but let me tell you everything that I just did. Lance replies, "You weren't the one who did it, right?" Oh my gosh. Fourth message. Tyler says, I'm sorry. Sorry, my love. Lance says, I thought they caught the person. So I guess Lance is watching the news actively because he's talking about George Zinn. Tyler says, no, they grabbed some crazy old dude, then interrogated someone in similar clothing. Now, what's interesting to me, I'm no lawyer. This is where Barron and other people that, they use their expertise to, speak on their lawyer experiences and stuff like that. But where are the timestamps? Provide me with timestamps. When is this happening? How does Lance know about a guy potentially being caught? Maybe they hit the news quickly because George Zinn did do that very early. I'm not sure, but provide me with timestamps so we can cross-check, so we can cross-examine. Why don't we have timestamps? How does Tyler know all of this information? How does Tyler know that George Zinn was caught? This is the part of him being a patsy. He knows everybody that's involved. That's what it seems like to me. But how does Tyler know about George Zinn? How does Tyler know that they interrogated somebody in similar clothing? He's supposed to be on the run. So is Tyler Robinson at Dairy Queen watching the news? What is happening? And first off, how does Tyler know about this guy that's interrogated in similar clothing? That's not something that would hit the news. He's just being interrogated. They wouldn't, I don't know. Tyler says, I had planned to grab my rifle from my drop point shortly after, but most of that side of town got locked down. It's quiet, almost enough to get out, but there's one vehicle lingering. Bro, am I reading a book on Goosebumps? What is happening right now? There's one vehicle lingering. Bro, this is so fabricated, man. This is so fabricated. It's just, I don't know. The fans are snitching on themselves. There's no way Tyler knows about somebody being interrogated. There's no way. Lance showed FBI special agent additional messages. This is when we get into some more things that we haven't seen before. Again, with no timestamps. First message, Tyler. 3 hours ago, there was an officer with a K9 walking nearby, hoping that Pooch has a bad sniffer. Oh my gosh. Do y'all use Pooch? Is there anybody in the chat? My yappers, my fellow yappers. Does anybody use Pooch when they're referencing a dog? Maybe. That's why I'm asking. I don't. I don't. Especially if I, you know, am on the run. The whole town is looking for me. I don't know if we don't have timestamps. So I don't know if he knows he's a suspect yet. I don't know if he knows that his face is all over the news. But I would just assume somebody that is a little bit, panicking on being caught. I wouldn't think that he's sitting back saying, there's a canine walking by, hoping that Pooch has a bad sniffer. Oh my gosh. Now, this is just crazy. This is very crazy. All right, second message. Tyler, again, just incriminating himself, I guess. I'm wishing I had circled back and grabbed it as soon as I got to my vehicle, because it sounds like the police couldn't get in for a long while because of traffic. I guess he just wants to just put in text messages 1,000,000 times that he's looking for his rifle. Don't know why anybody would just continue saying this. He said it once already. Tyler says again, needless to say, I'm going to be late coming home, might be. Hold on, bro. Hold on. So first is my love. First, it's my love. What are you doing, my love? The vehicle is lingering in the dark. It's lingering across the morning dew. Now he's jumping straight into, I'm going to be late coming home, my B. My G. My dog. I'm going to be late coming home, dog. Don't wait up for me. I'll be home in a little bit. Now he's turning into me, basically. Like, what are we talking, bro? Okay. Lance says, just stay safe. Tyler says, I will. 6 message. Again, no timestamps. Tyler, I'm more worried what my old man would do if I didn't bring back grandpa's rifle. That's not important, Tyler. If they catch you, you're going to potentially die in a police standoff. Bump the rifle. Tyler says, he's far scarier than any Fed. Not gonna lie. Okay. Tyler says, I guess I'm just sitting in my car watching reels for another hour, hoping this guy F's off. So, I mean, is he on the run? Where's the timestamps? Is he on the run? Is he chilling in the Dairy Queen parking lot? Is he chilling in the Plaza parking lot? Why is a person that committed the crime of the century watching, what does he say? Instagram reels? Why is he watching Instagram reels in his car? Brother, if they got you all over camera, the rifle don't matter. The rifle doesn't matter. It's not that big of a deal to be hanging around trying to grab the rifle. First off, why would you leave the rifle? If you just jumped off the roof, ran through the parking lot, ran through the woods, you left no evidence yet besides maybe, allegedly palm prints and stuff like that, footprints. Why would you leave the rifle in the woods when nobody was chasing you? You're almost at your car, allegedly. So, like, what do we? I don't know, man. This is such complete BS. Lance says, "Are you okay still?" Tyler says, "Yes." Checking the spot again now. Again, checking for the rifle that he's gonna say 1,000,000 times. Lance showed FBI special agent more messages with no timestamps. And it says right here, I'm sorry, but I think this might be it. If the way is clear. I can try and come your way to say goodbye. After that, I have a spot in mind that I'll call the police to. Lance says, are the cops outside? Why are you calling the police anywhere? Tyler says, not yet, but I have no doubts they will be on me within an hour. And I'll be giving my location up and going out on my own terms. I have no intention of being drugged through the courts in front of the country. Can I come see you? After that, I can call my dad and see if he's willing to help me or not. So it sounds like to me, Tyler Robinson is basically saying, I'm gonna go out swinging with the cops. I'm gonna go out swinging with the feds because I don't want to go to jail. Happens all the time. It's a form of suicide that people take instead of having the courage of pulling on the trigger on themselves. They know what's gonna happen if they pull the trigger on the cops. But that's what Tyler Robinson is saying. That it's over. He knows it's over. Lance then says, I'm just at my parents' house right now. Maybe I can make an excuse to head home for a bit. Yeah, dad, mom, Tyler just shot Charlie Kirk. That's a great excuse. Come up with an excuse? That's what y'all are worried about? Tyler, you would need to do that right now. Any ideas? Tyler Robinson just popped, allegedly, because I let's not even say that. We know it didn't happen. Allegedly, Tyler Robinson is on the run for committing the crime of the century. And Lance is talking about, do you have any ideas on how I can get away from my parents and come see you? What? I'm sorry, but these messages are gonna get even crazier. Tyler says, for an excuse, I don't know. I have no idea what you can tell your parents to get out the house and come see me. Let's see. For getting out of this, none short of my family being willing to cover for me. I am effed. Lance says, I'm not going to be able to leave. What's something urgent I would need to leave for? What's... I don't know, Lance. I don't know. I'm not really sure what could be urgent to leave the house. I don't know. Nothing crosses my mind at all. You could say I told you there is an emergency at home that I need you for with few details. Lance says, I said I'm Bro, please see this. Please see this. Please pay attention. Lance is panicking because he doesn't know what to tell his parents to leave the house to go see Tyler, right? He has no idea what to tell them. He says, I need to come up with something to make it seem like it's very urgent. Look what he comes up with. Mom, Dad, I need to go home and swap the laundry. Listen. I'm going to need y'all boomers to stop trying Gen Z. I'm going to need y'all boomers to stop trying Gen Z. Y'all old heads to stop trying Gen Z, because I know y'all the ones that came up with this BS story. And y'all think we would be stupid enough to text like this. And I take extreme offense when I'm looking at these messages, because I know one of y'all boomer old heads wrote this up. There's no way. I'm looking for something so important to come see you. I'm gonna tell him I need to switch the laundry. Okay, man. Okay. All right. Okay, Cass. We see you, Cass. We see you. Tyler says, nice. I will see you soon. Tyler says that was a great idea. Tyler doesn't even disagree. That's a great idea. Tell him you have to switch the laundry. Tyler says, coworker has just sent me the still of me on campus. What is your ETA? Lance says, like 3 minutes. You coming up with an excuse to see. Okay, bro. Okay. Let's see. Lance says, why? Tyler says, why did I do it? Lance says, yeah. Tyler says, I had enough of his hatred. Some hate can't be negotiated out. Tyler says, if I'm able to grab my rifle unseen, I would have left no evidence. I'm confused. Again, the timestamps are very important. You would have left no evidence. If you would have grabbed your rifle unseen, you would have left no evidence. What does this say right here? What are you talking about? There's a picture of you all over the TV. But he's going to text and say, if I'm able to grab my rifle, I would have left no evidence, as my picture is plastered all over national TV with no rifle in my hand. Bump the rifle. And then here he is again, going to attempt to retrieve it again. Hopefully they have moved on. I haven't seen anything in the news about them finding it. We'll update you by midnight. So we're getting somewhat of a time frame now. It's getting close to midnight, I guess, on 9/10. I don't know why he's so hell-bent on getting that rifle. I don't know why he dropped the rifle to begin with. You're running to your car, bro. Right? Allegedly, you're running to your car and you're almost there. Why in the world would he drop the rifle, get in the car, and then what? Oh my gosh, I forgot it. Let me go back and get it. Bro, this is this is an open and shut exonerated case. This man didn't pull the trigger, bro. This is so obvious. This is so obvious that Tyler Robinson is not the guy that pulled the trigger. Lance says, Lance says, all right, stay safe. How long have you been planning this? Bro, you're about to see Tyler in 3 minutes. So just wait until you see him to start asking him questions like this. But sure, let's ask more questions and incriminate ourselves. Tyler, a bit over a week, I believe. I can get close to it, but there's a squad car parked right by it. I think I've already swept that spot, but I don't want to chance it. Brother, go home. You're on America's FBI's most wanted list for the day. Bump the rifle. This is crazy. I think we're getting to the bottom of it eventually. This is ridiculous. Let's see. Okay, so now here we have the Discord chat, which again, nobody's doing this. This Discord chat had 20 people in it, and there's no way he knew all 20 of these people personally. You know, you have a little friend group that you play the game with. I promise you, there's nothing that I would tell. I don't play the game like that anymore, but when I did play the game, I'm not telling random people like personal information like this, like committing a crime. What? Why would you do that? Again, these are the things that I'm confused with, because he was so comfortable with telling Lance, it's over. I'm gonna, have a shootout with the cops. I'm going to tell the Discord chat that I'm guilty, but when I get in custody, I'm going to stay silent and get shy. But he told the Discord chat, "Hey guys, I have bad news for you all. It was me at UVU. It was me. I'm sorry for all of this. I'm surrendering through a share friend in a few moments. Why is that important? Who gives a freak about who you turning yourself into?" But they had to make the narrative. They had to make the Fed slop make sense. They tried their best to make the Fed slop not slop. Because guess who also mentioned the sheriff friend? Sheriff Brooksby. For the ones that might be a little lost, we might have to revisit another day. But for the ones that know, Sheriff Brooksby was the one that he's now retired. He stepped down as the sheriff that was in Washington County where Tyler Robinson turned himself in. He says that a family friend, which was a retired sheriff, said that retired sheriff was close friends with the Tyler Robinson family. And that retired sheriff called Sheriff Brooksby and came up with the game plan on to turn Tyler Robinson in. So they had to make sure Tyler Robinson put in a Discord through a sheriff friend. They had to make sure. I mean, of course, right? Of course, a 22-year-old wants to make sure every detail matters in this Discord chat, that he's turning himself in through a sheriff friend. Like any of these people care about who you turn yourself in. Bro, again, put yourself into a 22-year-old man's body or mind, and maybe younger, because who else was in that Discord chat? We don't know. Let's just say put yourself into a man's mind in general. If I just saw something like the craziest thing happen on TV, which is Charlie Kirk was assassinated, and you hit this Discord chat where I just play video games with you, and you hit this Discord chat and you say, "I did it," bro, that's enough for me to just lose my mind and run around the house, because I'm like, what? That's enough. You could have left it at, "I have bad news for y'all. It was me at UVU yesterday." That's it. That's all I need to know. I'm beside myself. I'm shocked. I don't know what to do with myself. Why in the world would I care about who you turning yourself into? Turning myself into a sheriff friend. I don't care. I don't. You're going to jail forever. I don't care who you turn yourself into. But that was the dumbest thing ever. The Discord chat. And let me make sure if there's any more messages. Oh my gosh, there is. Okay. Thank y'all for listening, because this is crazy. A lot of these things I'm reading for the first time. Because I didn't make it all the way to the bottom, because I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. It says some more messages came out. Tyler Robinson sent Lance a message on 9/10. So we have a date, but not a time. And he says, "Drop what you're doing. Look under my keyboard." So I'm trying to get away with a crime, or a matter of fact, I'm trying to confess a crime. I want to tell Lance every single detail about it. I wanted to hide a note, but let me call him to make sure he finds the note. Okay. He found a handwritten note, which is interesting because that's the thing that they said it was burned up, but the FBI took a picture of it before it burned up and put it back together. There's some weird stuff going on around that note. Tyler Robinson refers to Lance as Luna. That's where I got the Luna from. Very interesting, because if you pull up that picture of Lance being caught at the gas station, Lance Twiggs. Lance Twiggs is a man that is not transitioning. I can tell you that right now. I don't know what they trying to trick us, what they trying to do and make us believe. But this young man right here, can I pull it up? Yeah, dog. I can't even pull up a news article without y'all wanting a subscription from me. Is anything in this world free anymore? Look at this picture. You telling me that young man right there wants to be a woman? Not buying it. Not buying it. I tell you that right now. Ain't nothing about that fit screams, I want to be a woman. Nothing. Nothing about it. Nothing about it. But I digress. Because, the Fed slop is going to slop. Let's see. All right, here's the note that they found that Tyler Robinson called Lance and wanted to find. Luna, if you are reading this per my text, then I am so sorry. I left the house this morning on a mission and set an auto text. So this is an auto text, okay? So Tyler Robinson already pre-planned this text message, and it was already on auto text scheduled to deliver. I am likely dead or facing a lengthy prison sentence. I had the opportunity to take out Charlie, and I took it. I don't know if I will have succeeded, but I have hoped to make it home to you. I wish we could have lived in a world where this did not feel necessary. I wish I could have stayed. Get off my screen. I wish I could have stayed for you and lived our lives together. I lack the words to express how much I love you and how very much you mean to me. Please try and find joy in this life. I love you always, Tyler. I think we've had enough. Vomit. Come on, man. I just... There's nothing about any of this that I believe. Nothing. I just don't. The Fed slop is so sloppy. It's so sloppy. Because you wanted to keep it a secret, right? We have to. This is the crazy part. We're reading the text messages. We're reading it, right? We don't have a timestamp, but we're reading it. And even in the messages, they contradict each other. They contradict itself. The messages do. Because he just said in the beginning part of the messages, he just said that he wanted to keep this a secret until he died. But then towards the end, he has a note that he put under a keyboard that he wanted to send an auto text to make sure Lance saw that message, saw the note. So he put a note under the keyboard. He sent the text on auto text, letting Lance know, please find the note. But then going to say, I was going to take this to the grave and I wasn't going to tell you. What? Then he wants to say, I wanted to grab the gun so that way they didn't have any evidence. But then he's going to say, my roommate or somebody, my coworker said that they have a still shot of me on the news. If they have a picture of you on the news, bro, the gun don't matter. You going back to get the gun doesn't make any sense. First off, why did you drop the gun? You was almost at your car. Why would you drop the gun, get in the car, drive off, and then come back? He didn't. Tyler Robinson wasn't on that roof. Tyler Robinson wasn't on that roof. Tyler Robinson was, I believe, driving his Challenger around, trying to figure out who to meet, how to help. He's guilty, just not of pulling that trigger. He was pulling around, trying to figure out how to help in this operation. And he ended up getting tied into being the fall guy. He had no idea. And now we have this thing going around that Barron revealed that he was already in custody being Mirandized at 6:25 p.m. That goes against the narrative. 6:25 p.m., but he turned himself in at 10 p.m. Allegedly, according to the official narrative, they want us to believe that he turned himself in at 10 p.m. But the court documents say he was Mirandized at 6:25 p.m. How is that possible? How is it possible for the sheriff that picked him up to travel all the way down to Washington County to pick him up by 10 p.m.? He would have had to leave way before to get to Washington County. To get a call at 8:04 from Sheriff Brixby, right? They have it on record. Sheriff Brixby called at 8:04. Hey, I got Tyler Robinson. I got this retired sheriff friend. Don't forget the sheriff friend. Make sure you put that in the Discord message too. The sheriff friend told me that he talked to Tyler Robinson's family and they want to turn himself in. Okay, if that happened at 8:04, how in the world did that sheriff in the city of Provo, wherever they was at, whatever county that is, how did they drive all the way down to Washington County? That takes 3 hours. Pick up Tyler Robinson and is in custody by 10 p.m. when the phone call happened at 8:04. That makes no sense at all. I'm not buying it. Tyler Robinson is not, he's guilty of being involved in all of this, but he's not guilty of pulling that trigger. He didn't do it. I think we can argue that there is a mountain of evidence that exonerates him from pulling the trigger. Them text messages, cap. And the fact that Andrew Covett and all of those TPUSA people, they always come out for the most stupidest things ever. Like they all wanted to post these messages. That's where I got this link from. Andrew Covett put it on his Twitter page. Oh, go check this out. You know, all the Shalami soldiers come out. Brandon Tatum, he comes out and says, see, everybody, it's over. I don't even want to play it. I seen it. It came across my feed today. I can't stand listening to him because he's somebody that I used to watch. And I'm just like, man, who are you, bro? But he came out. He tried to be all serious this time because I guess his other tactics didn't work of trying to call everybody stupid. And FYI, if y'all ever just go to Social Blade and pull up some of these different YouTubers' accounts, they aren't the most liked. Brandon Tatum is losing followers and subs every day. Ben Shapiro is losing subs every day. These people are definitely suffering for being the way they are. So it may not feel like we're getting a win because we're like, bro, why does Brandon Tatum annoy us so much? Why is he always talking on some BS? He's losing subs. So the truth will come out. It will come out. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to keep talking about it. You know, we've probably been saying it for 7 months now, but, you know, I truly do believe we are getting very close to at least, you know, it's hard to pinpoint what we're getting close to, but I think the truth in general is being revealed. Timelines are not adding up. The mountains of evidence is becoming more like, I don't know, a thin little piece of paper of evidence It's not a mountain. It's not a mountain. But without further ado, I definitely want to get to y'all comments because had no idea we was pushing on an hour and 51 minutes. That was a lot of fun talking about all of that stuff, yapping about all of that stuff. So let's get to y'all comments. Again, how I usually do it is, obviously the super go first. I see you just did the super, that'll go first, and everything else will be very, question specific, or maybe a comment or concern specific. And then I'll try to skip around because I can't go through every single thing. But I do appreciate y'all for joining and listening. Again, make sure you guys hit the like button. I don't know where that's at right now, but make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure if you're new to the channel, hit the sub button. We are on the road to 20K subs, and I definitely appreciate all the support. But let's get to the comments. We do have a super. Man, I appreciate you, Mark. It sounds more like Tyler was on them perks than a roof. Man, I agree with you. I really do, because I don't know who this person is in custody right now. I don't know. I don't know. Again, it's weird to see somebody talk the way they was talking to Lance and to this Discord chat and telling everybody in the world that he did it. But then now all of a sudden he want to get all shy in custody and don't want to tell them that he did it. I don't know. It's weird. But the way him and Lance text, not normal. I'm not going for it. They can try to lie to us all they want to, try to gaslight us all they want to, saying, yeah, it is, man. That's how 22-year-olds text. You don't know. He could have been weird. Lance was transgender, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going for that, bro. Nobody talks like that. Nobody. But I do appreciate the super. I appreciate the dono. Let's see. And please bear with me through these chats, because there are times since I got to go through them, especially when it's in a regular chat. I got to go through and pick out the questions, comments, and concerns. First time watcher, I'm so glad I finally caught a live of yours. I do appreciate it. I really do appreciate you for joining for the first time. Please join in the future as well. Many more to come, I promise. I am still excited about this new setup coming. Move across the street in like about a month, so I'll have my own office room where I can have my setup design, do what I want to do, a little man cave. So I'll be able to, the setup will look a little different, but I'm excited. I think y'all will like it. I'll be able to have my camera a little bit better. That way I can kind of look at it a little bit more than slightly off to the side. So it's on the way. Love your content. I appreciate it. I do. Thank you very much. Found you on my For You page and loved your coverage, so had to come start watching on YouTube about a month ago. Haven't missed a live since. Thank you. I really do. Bro, my dog doing some BS right now. Thank you for going to the different platforms, following me on different platforms, supporting the different platforms. Thank you, because crossing over from TikTok to YouTube can be a lot for some people. Some people don't like doing all of that. So for the ones that are supporting on the different platforms, I really do appreciate it. That support goes a very long way, and y'all keep me going for sure. So glad to be here. I always support you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. If you don't think Trump is involved in this cover-up, you got your blinders on. I agree. I think it is very clear that Trump is involved in this cover-up. I think he is obviously occupied with everything going on right now. However, he's still a part of the cover-up, because before everything was going on, this was still going on, and he never had any extra questions. Joe Kent said what he said, and the only way for that to even happen is kind of like through the president. The president does have knowledge of the FBI blocking Joe Kent. And let's just say he didn't have knowledge. He found out about it once Joe Kent announced it. So even if you want to give him the benefit of the doubt, which I highly doubt he didn't know of it, but let's just say he didn't know of it, when Joe Kent came out and said that, again, any friend of Charlie Kirk should have came out once Joe Kent told the world that he was blocked by the FBI. Any friend of Charlie Kirk should have came out and demanded an investigation, relaunch an investigation, whatever. Trump was silent. Anybody that spoke on Charlie when he died should have been loud about this. And Trump was one of those people. Trump was one of those people that claimed that Charlie was a great friend. He was like another son and blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. So be just as loud as this then. So the fact that he wasn't, I mean, it tells you everything you need to know. And then also any type of foreign involvement in things like this, the president is well aware of what's going on for foreign involvement. So the fact that there are foreign entities involved in this Charlie Kirk investigation, because that's typically how these things work, JFK, 9/11, it's not just one person. But when there's foreign entities, it's so much bigger than it really is, because that tells you, and I'm not trying to like fear monger or anything like that, but this just goes to show you that our own president is okay for foreign entities to take out his own citizens. That's when you're supposed to announce a war. That's when you're supposed to announce the cutoff of an ally. You just took out one of the biggest conservative voices in this day and age, in this decade. You're no longer getting a dime from the American government, from America in general. You're on your own. But Trump don't do that. And, some people going to say, oh, man, you over your head. You don't really know how it works. I don't know. Some of this stuff is very simple to me. I'm not saying I would just know how to be a president, but some of this stuff is like street smart stuff. Like with this Iran war going on. Some of this stuff I called coming. I seen it coming with no presidential experience. I literally, everything that's going on in this war so far, I was like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. This is not going to work. That's not going to work. And it doesn't. And everybody's like, oh, Trump's playing 5D chess. You just don't know what you did. I'm like, bro, okay, man, whatever. But yeah, he's definitely, he's part of the cover up. Here from TikTok. Thank you. Thank you. When he was asked about Charlie and all he was worried about was his ballroom, that told me everything I need to know. Yep, I agree. Trump is, it's not looking good for him. Why is Trump silent? That's a great question, but I think at the end of the day, that Izzy got Trump in a chokehold right now. I don't know what he did for them to blackmail him the way that they are. He did something. He did something. What's going on right now is not normal. He is holding on for dear life to not be exposed. You were right. You can't take their money and then turn on them. Absolutely. That is a street smart 101 type of lesson. You take money and you think you finna get away from that. You finna get out of that. That doesn't work like that. In any type of situation that involves a lot of money, we ain't talking about a couple of dollars. You taking millions and you think you finna just back out? Nah, it don't work like that. Presidents are controlled. Yes, they are. Unfortunately, they are selected. The two people that are selected are already selected by the elites, and they know that both parties, the person that is selected, each one, they know that they're in an agreement to be controlled by the elites. And then they come up with this thing, it's called the presidential election, where they want the people to feel like we're important, to feel like when we vote, it's for a reason. We're gonna vote for this person that means so much to us, and he's gonna do so much for us. No, it's all an illusion. The two people that are selected are already handpicked by the elites, and they are already in agreement with them to be a puppet. And it's just a forever cycle. And they are not going to do anything for the people, because that's what they signed up to be, which is a puppet. They signed up to be a puppet for the elites. And whichever one gets elected, it was already set in stone. Both of them agreed that they're going to be a puppet. Whether it was Trump, whether it was Kamala, they both agreed to it. Just now hearing about the mic being searched. Yeah, I would encourage everybody to go check out that timeline. I skipped a lot. I did. I skipped a lot because I didn't want to make this, episode too long for everybody. But I skipped a lot, and we still pushing 2 hours right now. So definitely go look at that timeline. Again, it is who killed CK.com. Who killed Charlie Kirk? It is a great timeline. It's a one-stop shop. It provides you every date, every source. Once you see something that is crazy, all you gotta do is click on it, and the sources are right there. It's kind of like a chat GPT for who killed Charlie Kirk. Whatever question you have, you just clicking, and there's a source to it. And it has everything involved in it, timelines and official narratives. You can filter it and say you just want the official narrative. You can filter it and say you just want the conspiracies or whatever you want to call it. So it's great. She's only coming out pissed when Drewski does a skit. That's a fact. That's Turning Point in general. They only come out for stupid stuff. They don't really come out for, the important things. Like, hey, I think Tyler Robinson was interrogated at 6:25, which means that he was already in custody before the FBI even put the pictures out online saying that they're looking for Tyler Robinson. He's already in custody. And y'all already was supposed to know that. So you would think Turning Point would come out and just be like, what? Oh my gosh, bro, they don't care. They are stuck and focused that Tyler Robinson is the lone wolf. That they sticking to it. That's what they're going with. And it's just weird. Because why are you obsessed with the outcome? Why are you obsessed with the Tyler Robinson lone wolf thing? Who cares who goes down for this, right? Not saying who cares, don't care. But if somebody comes to you and they say, hey, I think 4 or 5 other people are involved with Tyler Robinson, why would you go around and get so mad at everybody and saying, how dare y'all spew that, ridiculous theories, conspiracy theories. Tyler Robinson's the guy. What more do y'all want? Who would do that? If there's 4 other people involved, why don't you want all 5? Why are you so obsessed with Tyler Robinson getting the death penalty? What happened to the cries of this grieving widow? I haven't heard or seen anything resembling her getting to the truth. Not at all. She don't talk about nothing no more. All she want to do is talk about, oh my Lord. She had some podcast yesterday about Bible 365. And I'm just like, lady, if you just address some of the things that was going on, a lot more people would like you. It's a start. I can't confirm it that people would start liking you, but it's a start. Addressing the elephant in the room, but pretending like everybody's demonic for asking you questions. Michelame. Some of those things TBUSA denied in the beginning were really bait tactics to see what proof Candace had. Once they saw she had text messages, they were forced into a corner. I agree. Candace was baiting them from the beginning, and they fell for it. They dug themselves into this hole that they're in right now, and I love it. It's their fault. Stop lying. Stop lying. Tell the truth. Truth will set you free. If not, this is what's going to keep happening, and they'll realize it. Because I think it's very funny that, Erica wanted to be famous so bad. She was fighting like hell to be famous. And I bet you she would have never thought it was going to be this way. So this is what happens when you want to force your way to the top. This is what happens. You're at the top now. Deal with it. Offering to take them to the next level, Turning Point 2.0, which is here now. Yeah. Turning Point 2.0 is for sure totally different than Turning Point with Charlie. Totally different. You can see it. Old Turning Point would have been came out about this Iran war with a statement, with comments, something. Boy, these folks stay silent on the tough topics now. The tough topics, they silent. They don't say nothing. They go to the extent of lying on Charlie, saying Charlie wouldn't say that. But these folks they posted a video of Charlie from a year ago on his stance on the Iran war. And they got community noted. And even the community note said Charlie changed his perspective like a month before he died. This video is so old. Matt Walsh. Is Matt Walsh on the fence? Is Matt Walsh, because I know how he feels about Candace, but is he actually on the fence? Is he saying that the narrative doesn't make any sense? Is he just like Megan, just saying that, it doesn't make any sense, but I think it's Tyler Robinson, but just don't ask Erica? Benny need to pick a side. Yeah. I agree. He definitely needs to pick a side. Megan acts just like Tucker. They both won't look into Charlie's death further. Yeah, it's interesting. Like I said, I think Tucker's on another, he's on his way to becoming something else. Bigger things, a bigger voice. But I don't know. When Joe Kent told Tucker on his interview about Charlie Kirk, it seemed like Tucker was moved by that. It was very disappointing to hear that. In my mind, I was like, dude, this is what Candace has been saying the whole time, bro. Why is this coming as a shocker to you or a shock to you? This should light a fire under you. And he was like, man, this makes me so upset to hear this. Like, are you really saying the FBI? Like, and I'm like, yes, bro. Candace has been saying that for months. He's like, Charlie was my friend. I'm like, okay, but it doesn't seem like it. All it takes for me to hear that one time, and I would set everything on fire if I heard that. And it was my friend that I lost because of it. They have to change the name of the show, the name, or stop using the Charlie Kirk Show channel. It's blasphemy. Yeah, I agree. Very weird. I don't know why Erica would want that. Very weird. That's all I can really say, because I feel like everybody knows it's weird. Who would want to do that? I don't know. But they don't have any names for themselves. Blake doesn't have a name for himself. Blake is just this weird racist dude. And Andrew Kovet is, man, he's a dark knight. He's a dark horse. He knows way more than a lot of people think. Him and Tyler Boyer, man, they got some deep, dark secrets. I just know it. Tucker seems to be asking more questions lately. I hope he starts going more max. I hope so. I've been waiting on it. I've been patiently waiting on Tucker to join the good side. For me, Tucker seems afraid to look further into it because he definitely loves CK and doesn't want to see EK that way. I agree. And this is where the personalities may just differ. But I quite frankly don't give a freak at all about how EK feel. I wouldn't. I'd be like, I don't care how you feel. I don't care if this makes you uncomfortable. My friend is dead. So at least you get to feel uncomfortable. He's gone forever. So, it just depends on who was Tucker Carlson friends with. If I was friends with Charlie Kirk first, before Erica came in the picture, my loyalty is with Charlie, not your wife. So if I find out that your wife is being shady after my friend dies in the way he did, I don't care about you, ma'am. My loyalty was with my friend. And if I have a feeling that you had something to do with it, I will get down to the bottom of it. And I won't stop. That's why I love Candace, because what Candace is doing right now is what I would do if I lost a friend. What Candace is doing is like if her little brother got shot, if somebody took her little brother away from her. That's what's happening right now with Candace. Somebody took her little brother, and she doing whatever she can to figure out who and why. He seemed to be surprised when Joe Kent said he stopped. Yeah, he did seem surprised. And I don't know why, because Candace has been saying it this whole time. But maybe he just don't listen to Candace. But I feel like he does, because he's brought her up a couple of times. He's not going to ask a question like Megan did. If people use that, Tyler did it. But if he was asked the question, did Tyler do it? He won't say no. Yeah, I don't know. He's on the fence. If I was friends with Erica, and I saw her behavior, I would switch sides ASAP. Preach. I would too. Yeah, Tucker did say all the time that he is friends with Erica. And yes, he donated like $500K to Erica. Yeah, he donated a lot. I forgot what the exact dollar amount was. It was a lot. Schedule everyone, so I don't know. But in this case, Charlie Kirk's assassination, Candace Owens is the only one who seems looking in goodwill. Yeah, especially in Charlie's corner, in his corner. So not the people that are just covering this case in general. In his corner, he is for sure just Candace. Everybody else has moved on. I don't think anybody ever wanted Frank involved. He walked by them at the water cooler and said, "Who's going to kill Charlie Kirk?" And they had to write him into the story. Yeah, I don't think they I don't think I don't think Frank I think Frank's innocent. He's been pretty, outside of being a little performative at these schools and stuff, and he's bringing up Charlie the first talking point at these colleges. Outside of that, I think he's been pretty on point. Mikey was ordering Domino's. Mikey was growing in a lab, probably on Jay's ranch, for real. At one point, they were all on their phones. Yeah. You can see Mikey texting Dan Flood and Dan checking his Apple Watch right before the Big Bang. Really? I got to pull it up right quick. I guess we shall watch it together, so I don't leave anybody out. Let's see if you telling it, if this is actually something. That's crazy. I might look at it some more, but I can tell you right now, this right here is not a gunshot. That is not a gunshot. I can tell you that though. Oh my love, how I wish that we could be together. Instead, I'll go to a Dairy Queen and get a Blizzard, my love. Cookies and cream, my love. Man. Man, for real. Yeah, forget old English. They always mention old head. They did, man. That wasn't no Gen Zer, man. Gen Z ain't texting like that. Them old heads definitely cooked that whole text thread together. Whole thing. Y'all, I'm lost on this website. If you go to the website and you go to the timeline, I believe it's at the top and it says timeline. That's all you really need. You can play around with it more, but This part right here. All you need is up here. Click timeline, and you got all the dates. And you just go through and read everything. You can filter out. The power play is kind of like the conspiracies. There's things that can change the entire story, that change the entire narrative, that goes against the official narrative. But you just go through the whole timeline. That's all that is. Wish I could come home without, but me thinks I require a blizzard before I journey back to you. That is a fact, man. That is the stupidest messages I've ever seen. They want us to believe that. That's crazy. Good evening. You're late, so you're rewatching from the beginning. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for joining. Even if you're late, that's completely fine. That's the best part about YouTube, is that you can just go back and watch whatever you missed. Y'all funny mimicking this conversation between Tyler and Luna. Yeah, I do need to. I need to talk to Black Line Brief for sure, so we can collab or something. I must dispose of my prior outfit in the waste receptacle. Oh my gosh. What the heck is that? Receptacle. I'm sorry, I'm getting so sleepy. My screen is so blurry. Receptacle, my love. I shall be home after I obtain my Oreo Blizzard. Bro, I need to put glasses on at night. This is crazy. Bro, y'all look hilarious with these text messages. These are hilarious. Bring me a blizzard, my love. Facts. The damage control just fans the flames of the dumpster fire. Facts. Why would he drop his grandpa's gun? I don't know. I don't know. He was running to the car. He could have just continued to hold it. He already held it jumping off the roof. The hard part is over. You broke your ankles. So you might as well just keep the gun in your hand and put it in the car. Like, I'm at my mom's. I'm like, hey, wait, I gotta leave. I might be back, but that's it. That's what I'm saying. I can't believe that their mastermind plan was to say, I gotta switch the laundry over. I don't know how I'm gonna get out of the house without them wondering what I'm doing. I have to come up with something good. Can I switch the laundry? And they're like, yeah, go ahead. Oh my gosh. He wants to get his rifle, but not the screwdriver. Right. That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make any sense. It doesn't at all. If there was ever time for a phone call confessing to capital murder, this is it, right? I mean, but that's why I'm just so confused. Like, I guess not confused. We already really know what it is, but I'm like, bro, Buddy did not just go into that to the police station. All of a sudden, he don't want to talk to nobody, but he's just confessed to the entire world. I think it was just a like a Siri, like auto text. I don't think it was a voicemail, but I think he had some type of text message that was planned to send. You unsubbed from Tel Aviv, Tatum. Good, I did too. He was one of the first creators that I unsubscribed to. I can't take it no more. That man is so bought and paid. JD absolutely knows something. And it's such a tough situation. I guess it's not tough. I don't feel bad. That's what these people sign up for. But when they are the vice president, they know what's actually going on. They just can't say anything. Same thing as Kamala Harris, how she said that there were so many things that she disagreed with Joe Biden on, but she can't say it because it would look crazy for her to go against the president or go against the Democratic Party. But I'm like, hey, that's what's going to get you elected or booted. So that's just what you signed up for. So unless you're going to come out and say that Biden is very sick and ill, and I don't know what's wrong with him, and he's been kind of bad, unless you can come out and say that, you're not getting a vote. And what did she do? She came out and said, that person asked her, and that person was so strategic. I would ask her the same thing. Just get straight to it. She said, would you have done anything different than Joe Biden? Kamala said, no. And she probably would have done something different. But it was the fact that I knew that she's a liar. I'm like, you're a liar. You're protecting people that don't need to be protected, but that's what you signed up for. Not my problem. I'm not voting for you assuming that you're different. I knew you were lying. I knew she was lying when she said she would do nothing different than Joe Biden. Yes, she would. And that's why she wrote an entire book pissed at Joe Biden and pissed at her campaign and how she was set up and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I knew that. But that's what she was banking on. She was hoping that everybody voted for her knowing that she was being like kind of like set up in a way. And I'm like, it don't work like that. Because at the end of the day, you're bought and paid for. So no, until you come out and say you disagree with everything Joe Biden did, it sounds like a you problem. And it's going to happen to JD Vance. JD Vance in 2028, people are going to be like, bro, you said nothing when Trump was doing what he was doing. And yeah, you can't come out and say anything, but you're guilty by association now. And don't let him pop out with Michelami. That's definitely over it. That'd be his worst nightmare. Facts. I'm so tired of hearing the 5D chess. Frank is not innocent now. He's lying and shutting down any questions. Maybe he didn't know beforehand, but he's towing the line now. I agree. I noticed I did say that he was completely innocent. I don't think he's completely innocent. I think anybody that knows that something is off, but they're not speaking up, is on the opposite side. So yes, you are right. He is shutting down questions. He's controlling the narrative. He's pushing the narrative. So yeah, he is guilty. He's just not as guilty. If we're talking about like tiers of guilt, he's probably like bottom tier, like 2 or 3. Like you're still guilty because you're pushing over the Fed slop. You're still pushing that. So yeah, he is, but it ain't like no crazy smoke for him because he hasn't lied about anything that magnificent that's worth to be like, oh my gosh. But he for sure is just pushing Fed slop. Blake showed slow down version of showing Mikey and Dan texting. I'm gonna go check it out. Did you see Trump's truth post? Which one? It's quite a few that he puts out. I seen the one where he called Candace ugly. That was the last one I seen. So if he posted anything today, no. I think I heard about the whole him, there was no agreement made. So he was like, bump it. If we can't get into the Strait of Hormuz, nobody can. I'm gonna block the whole thing. Like I heard about that, but I don't know much else. Thought we got rid of Kamala and her word salads. Then right, man, Miss Shalami is way worse than Kamala Harris. Oh my gosh. If it came down to Miss Shalami versus Kamala Harris, first off, I wouldn't vote at all. But if I had to, and my life was on the line, Kamala is winning by a landslide. 100% of votes to 0%. Got to. Someone put together a compilation of Trump sound bites called the Biden. For real, he can't blame nobody now. What's going on, Squirrely? It seems like I got through all the comments, man. I definitely appreciate y'all for listening to the show. I really do. I appreciate all the support. Again, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the sub button. We are on the road to 20K, and I appreciate all the support along the way. I really do. It is Sunday, so it'll be a couple of more lives throughout this. Oh, actually, I'm going to the beach on Thursday through Sunday, Monday. So I'm going to try to get at least 2 more lives in before Wednesday. So it's Sunday. So I got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I know I'm going to get one in. I know I can get one in for sure. But Thursday and on, I'll be out of town. So I probably won't be on YouTube, but I'll for sure be posting TikToks and stuff and different updates and all that stuff. So just giving a heads up on the schedule for this week. So we'll do another live between Monday and Wednesday. It'll probably be Monday or Tuesday. So, but we'll go from there. But again, hit the sub button if you're new. We're on the road to 20K. I appreciate all the support along the way. And I hope y'all have a beautiful night. Thank you for watching.